right, y'all have a great day.
You too, thank you.
I really wish y'all could taste these through the camera. That's when you know they're fresh, when they're that red. Honestly, one of the best things you can do for your health and just like for your local community is support local farmers and support farmers markets, any like local farmer stands you can. When food is picked fresh, it's so much more nutrient dense than if it's picked from, you know, like South America or Central America and then shipped. And sometimes that takes multiple days or over a week and they have to like freeze it and pick them early. So I highly recommend it. Support your local businesses. It's so much better. And honestly, a lot of times it's cheaper than getting the store-bought stuff. Those some strawberries make you want to reproduce out here.
That's true.
Had to come in real quick and fill up the propane. I've got 2 7-gallon tanks, and that's enough to last me like multiple months. That powers the fridge, the stove, all that good stuff. And yeah, this is kind of like, aside from water, this is the only thing I have to kind of constantly renew in the Airstream. And yeah, I'll let you know the price just if you're curious. These are my 2 7-gallon propane tanks, and I've got an automatic regulator here, so as soon as this one empties, this switch will flip and it'll start drawing from this tank. So like I said, that's going to be at least 3 months worth of propane, probably a little bit more. $57.20. So not bad. That powers my Dometic fridge here, which really barely pulls any propane at all. That also is gonna give me gas for my stove. And under here is my water heater. And so the propane will also heat my water. Thankfully for me, I take cold showers, so I really don't use the water heater. I'll only really use it every now and then. The propane also powers my heater in here, which obviously it's summertime, so I'm not gonna use that at all. In the winter time, or if it's cold out, if you're running the heater a lot, it does go through about 14 gallons. I would say like every month and a half to 2 months, depending on how much you're running it. So still, really good. Energy. It is definitely something I catch myself taking for granted far too often. When you flip on the light switch, the lights come on, and after you do it a few hundred, if not 1,000 times, you kind of slowly forget about how magical light even is, right? A couple thousand years ago, this would have been a bunch of candles. And that seems a little dangerous. No wonder everybody's shit was burning down back then. Whether we're in a home or we're going nomadic, the most important thing, the first thing, aside from water and food, obviously, is energy. How are you getting your energy? How are you powering, literally powering your off-grid or nomadic or your city lifestyle? Here's my battery meter down by the bed right now. As you can see, I've got 88% on the battery. Whenever I'm off-grid or camping, I have a couple lead acid batteries, which are, you know, like a normal car battery. I'm gonna get those upgraded to lithium very soon, and I'm gonna be installing an inverter, so stay tuned for that. But for now, I bought this trailer. It was a used trailer. It's a 2014, but it was unused pretty much, so it was in brand new condition. On the top, I believe I have 112, 120. I don't know anything about solar, so I'm sorry. But I have one solar panel up top, as you can see. By the way, I'm filming this all in the Airstream because the mosquitoes are out right now, so just FYI. Since I don't have an inverter, this is my portable outlet for my laptop. All my outlets will only work when I'm plugged into 30 amp power, or just a traditional outlet will give me enough power to power these. So if I want to light up my Vibe source sign right here, which obviously it needs to be lit, I just turn this on. There's a ton of other brands out there. I know like Goal Zero is one. You know, I think like Renogy, I think like a bunch of different brands make these, but I bought this, it was like $100, I want to say, from what I remember. And voila. Yay, energy. This is also charged by nothing less than the sun. So this has a portable, come on. This is a portable solar panel that charges this battery. The nice thing about this is when I'm out working on the property and I'm out during the day, this is charging in the sun, the Airstream's charging in the sun, so for all my electricity to power my fridge, power all my lights, completely off-grid, not plugged into any city power. That means this is free energy, baby, just how it should be. Yoink. Damn, mosquitoes got in here. Get out here, man. I'm vegan, but I will kill a mosquito. So for thousands of years, I believe that there has been a lot of different technologies that we could have adopted that were free. Am I gonna get killed for talking about this? What was that in the woods over there? Humanity chose to dig out fossil fuels, and obviously we needed fossil fuels, and there was an abundant supply of them, and fossil fuels have really run our economy, they've run our society, and now we're faced with transitioning away from fossil fuels. One of the reasons I'm going nomadic is to challenge myself to try to get back in touch with free energy.
It's free real estate.
Obviously, free energy, you can't make any money on it. It's free, except for obviously the technology to harvest and store that energy. The human consciousness is now shifting into a time where we're getting back in touch with our roots and we're tapping into energy using technology. So I think this is a really incredible time, and I don't think we're far off, maybe a couple decades from all of our energy being produced, for the most part, from clean or renewable free energies. So imagine if you didn't have to pay an electric company, a water company, imagine if you had really no bills. What if you could even tap into your internet for an incredibly low price and it was high speed everywhere? I don't think we're far off from a day where that can happen, and that's why I think now is the best time to go nomadic personally, or to just live in your van and travel or build out a school bus. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on free energy, and do you have any cool YouTube videos or fun things that I should research to learn a little bit more about different free energy technologies? Let me know in the comments. Alright, so my last point here that I wanted to make with energy consumption is catastrophic situations. Over the past couple years, I've been spending a lot of time with Randall Carlson, who is a catastrophist, and he's been studying cataclysms and catastrophes and how they've impacted humanity, whether they be mega floods, asteroid impacts, solar flares, like all sorts of volcanic eruptions, like you name it. How has humanity gotten fucked up? He studied it, and I've spent 2 years with him, and it's really made me think about how fragile our world really is. And maybe not in my lifetime, we really don't know when a catastrophe is going to happen. Could it be in our lifetime? Yes, no, it could go either way. But nonetheless, it will be in our future. And if we're not around, our kids are going to be around. So our kids or their kids or some generation after us is going to experience a massive catastrophe in some way. That is, unless we can really unite and work together as humanity to protect our planet from asteroids or space debris or other impacts. If we don't do that, it's basically a 100% chance that we're gonna get hit by something, or there's gonna be a volcano, like a mega volcano or something. So I don't want to get doom and gloom and go that direction. I'm just bringing this up to open your mind possibly to the idea that our society is a little bit more fragile than it may seem. So the people who are the most self-sufficient, that are the most in tune with the land, those people are probably gonna inherit the new Earth. So over the years, I've really thought about it. Do I want to be a part of that group, or do I want to be a part of the group that's overly dependent on energy being fed to me, food being fed to me, water being fed to me, all of the, how I should think being fed to me? Should I rely on these man-made structures and systems externally from myself that could get swept away at any moment? Or do I create skills and tangible assets and value that I can pass down to future generations? Anyway, if you're in a city, there's a lot of different things that could happen that are catastrophic, right? Like a cyber attack or a cyber war with another country. We've actually seen that happen over the last couple years. For example, there was a energy company, I think, that had to pay like $5 billion or something like that because they were being held hostage by Russian hackers. I just heard on Joe Rogan recently too that there was a power plant in Northern California, I think like maybe just under a decade ago, that was attacked and they never knew who, and it caused $15 million worth of damage, and it shut down the grid in that area for a little bit. Whether it is an environmental catastrophe or a man-made catastrophe, like nuclear war, pray to God we never get there, but nuclear war or an EMP or some sort of cyber attack on energy grids. Really, at any moment, imagine living in the middle of a city like LA or New York or, you know, Chicago, or who knows, like any major metropolitan area. Imagine if all that infrastructure got shut down overnight. A lot of these grids are not backed up. So we have to create our own energy, create our own food supplies, create our own shelter if we're gonna thrive during these catastrophic times. All right, sorry, that got pretty deep. Whoopsie. I'm really interested in connecting with more like-minded people who are thinking about the future in this way or any other similar way where we're really trying to make sure we're passing down a functioning and a thriving world to future generations. Let me know in the comments, how are you preparing for a catastrophic event, or just how are you preparing to maybe live more self-sufficiently? Thank y'all for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and please hit the bell because YouTube's not sending my videos out to hardly any of my subscribers. So help me out. Let's get these videos out if you like them. All right, y'all. See you tomorrow. Peace.